Okay.
Great. Welcome everybody to one of a series of talks featuring our local businesses and how they are doing in these very interesting times we live in. Hopefully everyone will be able to pick up some tips from them to further their own businesses. What I'd like to do is ask everyone to introduce themselves, who you are, whether or not you're a member of the chamber, what business you have, and why you're here this morning. Who you are you a chamber member, what's your business, why are you here? So I'll start so I can model that behavior. My name is Rudy Garcia. I own 2 businesses here in Fluvanna County. I am the current president of the chamber, and I'm here because Ruth Ann asked me to host. And I know all of the speakers except for Donald. And I'm going to pass over our speakers because they'll be introduced separately. Nancy.
Oh, hi, I'm Nancy Parsons. I'm president of Lake Monticello Community Foundation, a 501c3 that was incorporated in March of 2020. So it was very interesting launching a new enterprise during a pandemic. Yes, we are members of the chamber, and I'm here because I said I'd be here.
Thank you. Judy.
Hi, I'm Judy Fish. I am a member of the chamber, and I have a couple of businesses. I have an antiques booth, and I'm also a writer. And I'm here just because I want to learn more about other local businesses.
Great. Lori?
I'm Lori Click. I live here at the lake, and I'm also a member of the chamber. And I work for Remax Realty Specialists. I'm a realtor here at the lake. So,
and you're here because?
Oh, yes. I wanted to find out some tips on how to get through this, since I've been working the entire time and it's been a challenge. But, you know, like everybody else, it's all new world, new reality.
Great. Thank you. Kathy from Pet Stop.
Hi, I'm Kathy Burrier, and my business I run with my husband is Pet Stop of Central Virginia. We install underground fences. You've probably heard of Invisible Fence. That's sort of like Kleenex or Xerox. It's the brand name of a thing. And Pet Stop is basically very similar. We're local here to Fluvanna County. We are members of the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm here because I can't remember what the topic was, but it looked interesting, and I wanted to join in and hear what people had to say.
Great, thank you. Michael.
Hey, I'm Michael Lovedahl. I'm the CEO of Align Marketing. We are a chamber member, and I'm here for the same reason. I'm interested to hear what people say and see how people are doing.
Great, thank you. Linda.
I'm Linda Stager. I am a member of the chamber. I'm an artist. I do painting and ceramics. My mission is to spread peace, and I'm here today to get to know other people in the community and what they're doing.
Great, thank you. Sherry.
I'm Sherry Rhodes. I'm with the Daily Progress and Rural Virginia newspapers, and the Rural Virginian is a chamber member, and I'm here to learn more about other businesses in the chamber.
Great, thank you. Robin?
Good morning. I am Robin Hardy Small. I own Lakeside Mobile Notary, and I am a member of the chamber, and I'm here to try to network with other people and see how we can support each other in our community.
Great, thank you. Ruth Ann.
Oh, I'm Ruth Ann Carr, and I am the office manager here at the chamber, and I'm here because it's my job, but also because I enjoy getting to know the faces and getting to know the people that are members of the chamber, and I really like hearing about other businesses and tips on how to help them grow.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and do some housekeeping, and then we'll get started with our presentation. So if you've got friends who missed this morning, if you like what you hear this morning, we are running the exact same program again on Thursday at noon. So please feel free to invite your friends to register for that so that they can get the same information you get. On April the 21st, we're going to be having a Climb the Ladder to Success lunchtime webinar. You will hear from 4 successful Fluvanna business owners about how they started and worked through the different issues of funding, growth, personnel, etc. On Thursday, April the 22nd, which is 2 weeks from this Thursday, we'll be having a ribbon cutting and open house for one of our newest retail members, Small Town Butterfly Boutique. They are going to be housed in, or they are housed in the National Filter Service building near Carriesbrook Plantation, right on Highway 15, James Madison Highway, and that'll be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll also be doing another Progress Through Pandemic series in May and in June. And that, once again, those will both be double programs. So we're trying something new this year to determine when the best time is for us to have our educational events. And it actually seems as if both lunchtime and breakfast are the best time. So we're getting about the same number of people, different people at each event. So that's kind of opening the board's eyes to the way we do business and maybe thinking about how we can incorporate that moving forward. And for those of you who aren't chamber members or know people who aren't chamber members, remember we do have the Pandemic Disaster Response membership going on through June the 30th, I believe. Is that correct, Ruth Ann?
Yep.
Okay. The reason that the board decided to do that is that we need to be seen as an organization that supports small businesses so that when we go speak at the Board of Supervisors meetings, they listen to us, because the decisions that they make impact all of us. And they need to know that there's an advocate out there for the small business community. And while Brian does a great job as the Economic Development Director, Brian works for the county, so they need to hear an outside voice on that. So any questions before I start with our program? It looks like we're almost perfectly right on time.
I had a question. What happened with National Filter Service that they're not in that building anymore?
I think they're still in that building.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
sharing the building with.
Yeah, they have lots and lots of space. Chris Fairchild has a lot of folks who work remotely. And so he doesn't need as much of the office space as they used to use. I think they've got some room upstairs, and I think they also had some room downstairs. I'm not sure where this new boutique is going in. So great question though. Anybody else? All right, so we have 4 speakers today, and I'm going to introduce each one of them in turn so that their bio is fresh in their mind as they begin speaking. Our first speaker today is Alice Rivera. She's a Brooklyn, New York native, and she's lived here in Virginia since 2016. She says she's lived here this time since 2016. I'm sure there's a story there. She's been in the travel industry for over 35 years. She loves to help people plan their vacations, and she enjoys meeting new people. To her, no one is a stranger. I can attest to that. We hit it off the very first time we met. She's a certified travel consultant, a master cruise specialist, a top seller of ocean and river cruises and escorted tours, and she is in one of the hardest hit industries in the country right now. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Alice so we can hear a little bit about her story.
Well, thank you, Rudy, and thank you, Ruth, for inviting me to do this. I am a chamber member, and I just came in about a couple of months ago. So I'm really excited to join. When I moved here, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to join the chamber or not, but I found that I met a lot of nice people, and I really, really enjoy it. But a little bit about myself, as Rudy said, I am a master. I earned my degree in certified travel consultant, and I am a master cruise counselor as well. When I started in business, we did everything from writing out tickets to making reservations. Cruises were not that big at the time. It was airline tickets and hotels and packages. And so I moved forward after having my agency for 10 years in Brooklyn, I turned to the other side of the coin and I became a district sales manager for a resort company in the Caribbean. So my job was really hard. I had the East Coast as a district, so I traveled all the time. And Ruth, you were saying how close you are. My closest client was 365 miles away. So I went back and forth every single week. But anyway, the good part of that one was that I also worked in the Caribbean and in Mexico. So I know most of the Caribbean and Mexico. And then I decided to take a break. I took one cruise and that was it. I went back into the industry. I decided to specialize in cruises, which has given me the opportunity to work from home and enjoy my life. I do escorted tours and of course all-inclusives, because those are my three specialists that I am very comfortable selling. And I became the best of the best for our company. I joined the best of the best, I should say, for 4 years in a row, selling over $1 million in travel each year. So not an easy thing to do in this business, but thank God I was able to do it. So now we got the pandemic. And of course, like Rudy said, it's been unbelievable. In 35 plus years, I've never had such, never seen this before. You know, we've been through it all, but this one was a hard one. And I worked for 3 months without 1 cent, no paycheck, because everybody that I had booked, I had to go back and cancel and give them future cruise credits that the cruise lines were offering. So we had nothing, completely nothing. But with the whole pandemic, we learned to adjust. And I think that's the one thing that I would recommend to anybody that's in any kind of business, is to learn to adjust. I couldn't sell cruises. And for the first few months, everything was closed. But when it started to open up, we were able to do hotels and resorts. So clients could not go to the Caribbean on a cruise or Mexico, but they could go to the resorts in Mexico and the Caribbean. Or the big one was Alaska. Clients could not go to Alaska on a cruise, which is from May to September, their season. But I could get them to Alaska by flying them there and getting them an escorted tour. So my whole thing in doing all this was readjusting, how can I say it? Redirecting my place, you know, in my thinking and deciding which way I wanted to go. And trust me, I wanted to retire, but that didn't happen. So my big thing for everybody is my one, if you take anything from my little presentation here, is to adjust. There's always something we can do, turn it around and keep going. If you're passionate as I am about travel in your business, you will find a way to turn things around. I don't know how the other companies are working, but I know that with my company, we are finally seeing an opportunity to go back on cruises in June. Some of the cruises are sailing out of the Bahamas or St. Martin, and some of them are not doing nothing. We're canceled until CDC says we can open up again. And just a little tidbit, Europe has been cruising all this time through the pandemic, and they have, there's 350,000 people that sailed last year alone. after the pandemic, but CDC won't open up for us, so we're at their mercy. So with that, I want to say thank you. I hope you got something out of it and have a great day.
Great. So I'd like to entertain questions now. So what we'll do is we'll let each speaker speak, and then we'll ask some general questions from them. And then at the end, we'll open it up for questions overall.
You said that I'm sorry,
No,
you
go
said
ahead.
that you wanted to retire. Was that your plan? And then, no, it wasn't my plan at all, but I was so frustrated because, I mean, nothing was coming in and I'm like, why bother, you know, let me just retire. But I couldn't. So you picked yourself up and said, what can I do? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And did you say 350,000 people cruised from Europe during Europe? I mean, in Europe during the pandemic? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Are you talking about like the riverboat cruises? They cruised everything, riverboats and regular cruise liners. Wow. Okay. It was like one incident on a Viking in the beginning of the pandemic, and then there was, you know, no incidents after that. Thank you. That's interesting.
Ruth Ann, you had a question?
Well, yes, I was going to ask you, do people, you can't book anything right now because there's no, because the CDC has locked everything down, or are you able to get people to, see, I hardly ever travel, so I don't know what, you know, are Americans blocked from even going like to Europe or whatever right now? Is everything blocked to us as far as traveling?
Some of the countries will not let the US, the residents go, you know, Americans go into their countries. Some are open, people are flying there.
Right, okay.
An American cannot go on a cruise.
An American can't. Okay.
Yeah, if you fly to Europe, they won't let you fly, they won't let you get on the ship.
Wow.
In the Caribbean, which I mentioned, June and starting in June, Celebrity is sailing out of St. Martin with all the St. Martin requirements, which is you have to have your vaccine, you have to have, and you have to show proof of that. And they will test you when you get on. They will test you every time you, when you get off. They will also, they also have a test that they do that is, they're paying for everything. And during the cruise, you get tested as well. So when you get off the ship and go for a tour, when you get back, your temperature is taken as well.
Okay. Thank
you.
But we can book cruises where right now we're starting to book for 22 and 23. The world cruises are open now. So people are starting to book. Another thing real quick, I'm sorry, I'm taking so much time. If you decide you're taking a trip for next year, I would suggest you book it this year because cruises are sailing half full in the beginning. And once they open up for everybody, it's going to be really busy, which is good for me, but it's going to be very busy.
Great. Any other questions for Alice? Don't forget, if you think of any other ones, we can ask them at the end. So our next speaker is Nina Monroe. Nina owns the Elephantz Trunk. She opened it in 2017 as a retail store in Fork Union to offer the community an alternative place to shop for antique furniture, home decor, jewelry, handcrafted bath and body products, and upholstery services. In March of 18, she relocated to Lake Monticello at 68 Heritage Drive, or right next door to Papa John's, right? She expanded her space, her client base, and her product line. The Elephantz Trunk now carries wine and gourmet food. Nina works tirelessly to get the word out about her store and appreciates the support of the area residents. The Elephantz Trunk celebrated its 6th year as an online store, its 4th as a brick and mortar store, and its 3rd anniversary at its current location. I give you, without further ado, Miss Nina Monroe.
Hi, everybody. I have my mask on because I'm at the boutique and I plan on opening it today. So thank you everybody for letting me be a part of this. I am a member of the chamber. Besides the Elephantz Trunk, I also am a real estate agent for Long and Foster, and I'm also on the board for the Fluvanna's Economic Development and Tourism Council. I came from a banking background, a 25 years banking background, and I did lose my job suddenly in 2017. The Elephantz Trunk was just a hobby for me because, with working my brain and numbers at the bank, I wanted to have my creative side out there. And I actually did upholstery for a living for a number of years, and also interior decorating for a living. But when you're self-employed, just like now, it's harder to, have the benefits, have insurance and health insurance and things like that. But I'm still here, thankfully. I did have to shut down for COVID for a while, just like anybody else. But remain hopeful. Either that or I'm crazy, one of the two. But I do offer handmade jewelry, bath products, interior decorating and everything like that. But I think I'm maybe one of two people. I think Linda and myself are probably only natives here in Fluvanna County, born and raised. But we have so many things here that it's almost like a little mini department store. I know some things I may have to give up, but I'm not sure yet. But I'm also taking a class through CIC to kind of help me better do my marketing and things like that. So I just want to thank everybody for supporting me and encourage you to also come and check out the Elephantz Trunk, because you just might find something that you might leave home with, or go back home with. So that's kind of me.
I'm actually, I've been a pretty good customer of the Elephant Trunk, and
thank you. Yes,
and I actually found it when we went for the chamber ribbon cutting, and said, "Oh, this is so cute! What a hidden treasure here next to a pizza parlor." I mean, it's an unlikely place for such a cute little shop, and I was impressed with your skills. She upholsters and refinishes and updates furniture. And one event I did back before COVID was a thing and I would encourage all of you to think about doing something like this, either for the Elephantz Trunk or some of your other local businesses, is I asked her to allow me to host a few friends in her shop. And I picked some gals. I think Nancy was there. Nancy, didn't you go to that when we went to her shop, or did you not make that? Oh, she's muted. Okay, it's okay. At any rate, she's like, but we invited a few friends and we went to her shop and we had some refreshments, and she talked to us about home decor and because she's very, very creative. You're underselling yourself there. You're not just a shop, like you're a brain. You're very good at decorating and staging. And she went through some tips for us on how we could freshen up our spaces. And I think she got some new customers from that. And it was a win-win because my friends got to learn about a really cool business in Fluvanna. So I think that's a fun way when we're allowed to have, 5 or 6 people join together and go into a place. I don't know, did you enjoy that? Nina, did you enjoy that when we all showed up?
I did. Yeah. I did.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that. It was really fun. You kind of, I don't like talking about myself, and it's kind of fun when you have an engaging audience. I mean, I used to do seminars in banking all the time for small business, but it's different when you're representing yourself, versus representing another entity. But it's a lot of fun. I did enjoy that, Judy, and thank you for that. And thank you so much for your support through the last couple of years. And I look forward to doing something like that again. I know we talked before about having some kind of tea party, that would be so cool.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. So I think Ruth had wanted me to kind of pan around my store.
Oh, yeah.
I was just gonna say that that's
Yeah,
a
let me
great
do
shot
that.
of her palm. She has a long.
Yeah,
no, I'm
she has a
kidding.
long and healthy life.
That's
Yeah.
right. um, she has a really good eye. I mean, she puts together prints and things that are just really amazing. I mean, I love walking through her store. So do yourself a favor and just stop by sometime and see what she has, because if there's anything about home decor that you like, or pampering yourself in terms of
Yeah,
like,
there's some pampering products.
yeah, so handmade soaps and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful experience.
It is. I get inspired when I go in there. I come home. I was telling her last night, I come home and start rearranging things. I need to make them look better. So it is a really, she was asking me, because she was interviewing me for her course she's taking, and she was asking me what I get out of a shopping experience. And I said, my adrenaline picks up when I'm going into a store like that. Look at the beautiful pillows and chairs.
Yeah.
I mean, she just does a great job. And many of those things she's recovered or made herself. So she's very talented.
Yeah.
Does someone else make the jewelry?
No, I make the jewelry.
You makes the jewelry too. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
When do you sleep?
Not
Look
much.
at that chair. I love that
I
chair.
know, it's so
that's
cute.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know what your hours are, because I've never been to your shop, but like looking online and looking now, I'm like, when can I come up?
I know. You would love it, Robin.
So yeah, so pre-pandemic, I was open Tuesdays through Sundays. And then when the pandemic happened, and I reopened from Thursdays through Sundays. But I'm going to be starting again probably next week. I'll be opening Wednesdays through Sundays, and Sundays are in the hours at 10 to that's my favorite horse right there. 10 to 6, and then on Sundays 12 to 5.
Great.
Judy, I'll meet you out there at 5:30.
I was gonna say, you say when, I'll go meet you. Yeah, it is very, very cute.
All right,
It
folks,
is.
I have the unenviable duty of moving us along. So any questions for Nina specific to life during a pandemic, not about her skills, which are definitely over the top?
Amazing.
Really.
How she can make my life more beautiful during a pandemic is obviously what she's doing right now.
That's right. And, or you could drink and forget about it, because she's so funny.
That sounds better.
All right, so we have two more speakers, and I want to make sure they all have time to tell their story. So our next speaker is Sarah Sweet, who is the founder of the Scrappy Elephant. So we have 2 elephants, 2 CIC graduates, or 1 CIC graduate, 1 CIC student, and 3 minority business owners today. So just keep that in mind. I'm sure there's something happening in the cosmos right now in Savannah County. Sarah was born and raised in Charlottesville and has been making art since she could first hold a crayon. As an art teacher, she combined her love of art and her love of teaching children the magical powers making art holds. After having her daughter, she realized she should start doing more than just recycling to do her part for the future of this planet and all of its children. While on a trip to Nashville, she stumbled upon Turnip Green and immediately became hooked on creative reuse. Creative reuse, also known as upcycling or repurposing, is when the addition of creativity to an already manufactured item brings a new function. With creative reuse, thousands of pounds of usable materials can be diverted from the landfill and given new life. The Scrappy Elephant is right next door to the chamber in the historic village of Palmyra. For those of you who don't know where that is, it's right off of Route 15. So without further ado, I give you my friend Sarah.
Hi, thank you guys for having me. I'd hate to have to follow up after Nina. Thanks, Nina. I'm the other elephant in Fluvanna, and like Rudy said, I'm an art teacher and an artist. And my main goal with the Scrappy Elephant is to keep as many materials out of the landfill and get them back to the community at really low cost. So originally I had plans to be in Charlottesville. Last summer I had plans to be at Ix Art Park to have a pop-up in a big empty warehouse there, but then COVID hit. My friend Charlotte owns the Golden Fish. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with the art and play space in Palmyra, but she was sitting empty last summer, so she was wonderful enough to let me use that space as a pop-up, and it was wonderful. People started bringing materials and shopping, and so then the space next to the chamber opened up, the old post office, and I walked in, and there was a lawyer who had been occupying that space, who spent a lot of time in Africa, and the whole space was covered with wooden elephants. And I knew it was just a sign that this was where Scrappy Elephant was supposed to be. So I moved in September through word of mouth and social media. It's slowly been growing. It's been really wonderful. I have a space up front that is for shopping. The way it works, it's just $15 to fill up a bag of stuff. The stuff includes yarn and fabric and paint and paintbrushes and papers and canvases, scrapbooking materials, you name it, it's in there. And then in the back space, it's this beautiful light-filled room that has some tables and just floor to ceiling materials. Eventually, I'm going to have classes and workshops, but for now, because of COVID, I'm just allowing families and friend groups, it's not just for kids, friends have been using it too, to book it for an hour at a time. You go in there, you shut the door, you have the space yourself. There's a bunch of examples all over the walls. I'm available to help, but honestly, people come out having made these amazing things with stuff I didn't even know was back there. So it's just the space to be creative and the materials to be creative. And again, at low cost, it's just $10 for the first maker and $5 for each additional. So just trying to, do a little something for the environment by keeping materials out of the landfill and providing materials to the community at really low cost. This summer, I'm having a summer camp, which will be outside. Charlotte from the Golden Fish and I are pairing up. She's also a certified art teacher, so it's just going to be nature and art and sustainability, which is what it's all about.
Can you tell us any more about the camp? That sounds super cool.
So the first day of camp, I have a huge backyard too, which is amazing. And hopefully Ruth Ann, we're going to be using her backyard too. It's the first day, it's going to be building forts out of bamboo. And then the rest of the week, we're going to split into like a younger and older group and just go back and forth between Charlotte and I doing different projects using reclaimed material. There's a great trail, the rail trail in Palmyra. So we're going to be doing a lot of nature walks. We're going to be doing some Andy Goldsworthy nature art making, some drawing in nature, some sculpture. It's just going to be a little bit of everything.
Nancy, you're still muted. Up in the upper right corner, if you hover your thing around, you'll see the word mute. At the corner of your picture.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
What are the dates and what's the age range for the camps?
There's 6 weeks in the summer. I do have it starting that second week of June, although no one signed up. I can send you the dates. Let me look on the website. The age range is from 7 to 14. And I've been telling parents if they have pretty mature 6-year-olds, I'm certainly letting them in as well.
So you have a website.
Yes, ma'am. It's www.scrappyelephant.com. And at the top of it, it says Camp Create, and that gives you all the information about camp.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Sarah,
Yes.
what's one of the things that you've had to do as a result of the restrictions on in-person meeting?
So because it's a very small space, I haven't taught any classes, which was one of the goals. I also wanted the studio to just be kind of this open, come, when you can, and just to meet other members of the community. I have not been able to do that. Also, the shop part of it, because it's so small, I have done switch to appointment shopping because there's a lot stuffed into a small space. So appointment shopping has actually, I think, been kind of nice because it gives people the store to themselves the whole time. There's, again, like a lot stuffed into a very small space. So it's nice to have the time to yourself to kind of peruse and see what's in there. So I'm hoping this summer's things lift up a little bit. Can get rid of the appointment shopping maybe. And I'm excited about camp because, again, I'm going to be splitting up. It'll be mostly outside. So it'll be small groups of kids inside, only 4 at a time.
Okay, great. Any other questions for Sarah?
Sarah, can you tell us about the event on Sunday?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Linda. Sorry. And on Sunday, I'm teaming up with Sweet Art Emporium and Totes My Goats and Golden Fish. And we're having Spring into the Village. Linda is helping us with that. Thank you, Linda. We're going to have, I think right now we're up to 14 artists that are going to be showing their work in the space behind the old courthouse. And then across from the new courthouse in the parking lot, we're going to have some food trucks. Some people from the church are going to be playing music. We're going to have some games. We're going to have some giveaways. So hopefully you guys can come out. It's from 12 to 5 on Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We did an event like this in December. I didn't see one person without a mask on. It was wonderful. People put their masks on and had a great time. And it was just it was nice to be out. A lot of people didn't even know that Palmyra existed. So it was wonderful to introduce new people to the village. So hopefully you guys can come check it out and see the Scrappy Elephant while you're there too.
Great, thank you. So I'd like to introduce our last speaker, who's going to tell us a little bit about himself, and then he's going to give us a presentation on how to make decisions about growth. So Donald Jennings is retired from a career managing large telecom projects, and he's the chairman of the Central Virginia SCORE, which is basically a bunch of retired executives who volunteer to help businesses grow, right? They provide their expertise that they've learned during the corporate life to small businesses and large businesses who need help figuring out how to overcome some type of a problem. His chapter has helped start over 300 small businesses last year in the 8-county Central Virginia region. Donald is a medicinal herb and medicinal fruit farmer, originally from New Mexico. He was the founder of the New Mexico Organic Growers Association in 1970. He's also involved with local agritourism. His 116-acre farm includes 11 secluded campsites and a 1-mile labyrinth, and is listed on HipCamp. He is married with 3 children and 9 grandchildren. I give you Donald Jennings.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to share the screen so that, because I've got a few slides prepared. And we just walk through them. I assume you can see the screen now. You should be able to see. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so we do workshops at Central Virginia SCORE. We do online, we've got online resources, articles, templates, and we're part of a large network of national SCORE chapters, 10,000 mentors nationwide, and we've got 20 at our local chapter in Central Virginia. In Central Virginia, we cover, as Rudy said, 8 counties, including these municipalities here, Culpeper, Wilderness, Fredericksburg, and so on. And then on the west side, Madison, Savannah, Palmyra, Livingston. So anyway, we cover these 8 counties, and these little spots are libraries or meeting locations. You could say they're branches of the main branch, which is located in Charlottesville at the Chamber office. So we're going to talk a little bit about business decisions and models. Business models are all wrong, but some of them are useful. And the reason they're wrong is that you can't really model reality perfectly. Einstein says that everything should be as simple as possible, but no simpler. There's been a trend since, say, 2010 of business modeling. Lean Startup came out, Startup Owner's Manual. There's a kind of a timeline of some of the recent business books that the students at CIC have heard about this, I'm sure, that have kind of influenced the way we look at business optimization and expanding our business. So as we'll talk about the decision of product service expansion and reducing the risk. In the COVID era, you want to do something and you want to expand your business, you want to do something with your business. So you'll typically, let's say you introduce a new product service, you'll build a minimum viable product or a test landing page, put out a web page for your new service. I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm gonna go through this fairly fast, and we have our seminars and workshops where we go into depth and detail and spend a lot of time on it. But I'm just going to run through fairly fast here. And this model here is Eric Rice's model. So you try something out, you build something, make a test page, run a test, take some measurements. How many people signed up for your product service? How many people came to your event? And interview customers. And I heard somebody say they're interviewing customers, which is what CIC will be teaching. We teach over at CIC also. We teach how to start a business workshops there. And a lot of businesses don't interview their customers. They don't ask the customer, they think they know it. I mean, we all think we know what we're doing, but actually the customer is the one who knows what you should be doing. So you get ideas and you pivot and you do it again. So this is a round and round until you've determined, until you hit the big time. Model of the business. So here we've got something that one of the books pointed to. It's called the Business Model Canvas. It's a one-page sheet where you put in you can diagram your business and explain it to your husband, explain it to your wife, explain it to your workers. You can kind of diagram out what you're about to do. So let's say you want to put in a new product or service in your value proposition. You're going to look at some new customer segments, probably. Who are your customer segments? What's your new revenue stream? Here's the revenue stream box here. To create this new product service, you're going to have to revise your activities. You're going to have additional resources required. That's going to cause additional cost. So here's the box for your business costs. Here's the box for your revenues. And this is a break-even formula down here where you'll do a break-even. So it's a pretty easy way to lay out your business on a one-page sheet. And here's that same sheet sort of at an angle. And in the big picture is that on the right-hand side, these are the things that make you money. On the left-hand side, these are the things that cost you money. So here's the customers and the revenue. Here's the activities, partners. And right in the middle is what you're selling to your customer. So that's the business model in a nutshell. Now we're going to go real quick here to something called the Boston Consulting Group Matrix. And this is one of the most powerful, useful tools for analyzing your product service that's available to us. So in your retail business, you're going to decide how and when to allocate resources on your product lines. Do you do online? Do you put money in advertising into online? Do you put money in advertising into local brick and mortar customers? So the matrix contains 4 boxes: market growth rate, rate of market growth, high and low market. Is your market growing? And what market share do you have? Do you have a high share or a low share of the market, of the buyers? So retail, you've got a product that's what we call a cash cow. The cash cow are the product or service that has a high market share, but it's not in a growing area. It's not in, you're not getting growth. You're making money. You're actually just probably, you know, you're continually making money, and it's kind of boring. It's something you just turn the crank and do it every day. And you know you're going to make some money out of it, but you're not growing. It's not a growth situation in this box. A star in the high growth area and the high market share means you're killing it. You're really making, and you want your cash, you want your product to be in this area here as long as possible. It actually may be cash neutral because you're spending a lot of money to keep it and to defend the position against competitors. So you're advertising. So it's taking money from the cash cow product or service, and you're spending it to keep your star high and to support your star product or service, because there's competitors, but it's in a growth. So it just makes sense to do this. A star can turn into a cash cow once the market matures. See how that works? So upper right quadrant is a question mark. Question marks are low market share in a fast growing market. You got a fast growing market, but you got low market share. You're having to support, you have to pay advertising. You're gonna have to, it's not making money for itself. So money's coming out of the cash cow. You got to have some cash cow somewhere. Money comes out of the cash cow to support this guy up here because it's incurring some losses. Now this question mark can either become a star or it can become a dog. A dog means it's just, you know, you got to get rid of it. You divest yourself of that product or service. So for example, a Facebook dog or question mark is virtual reality products. They're spending a lot of R&D and they don't know if they're going to be successful with it. So you could see it's got a lot of potential. It's got potential to be a star. And that's the example of the question mark. So down in the lower right corner, we've got the dogs. The dog is a low market share in a mature, slow growing industry. It's just, you're not making it, you're not selling it even, and the industry doesn't have a lot of promise either. People aren't going there. It's like selling cigarettes at a defunct gas station or something. Typically, you may be at break even with a dog or barely enough to make to maintain your market share. So you're spending money out of the cash cow to keep that dog alive. A star can become a dog, question mark can become a dog. The cash cow can become a dog. And eventually. So that's all I had, a real quick rundown of some decision analysis tools. And I can go on, but I think that's probably my time.
That was a lot of stuff for an early morning meeting.
That's a lot. That is. I apologize for that. And I tell you, I cut a whole lot of slides out of there.
I like that graphic plan where you kind of fill in the boxes. That is kind of intuitive, actually.
It is.
How about some questions for Donald?
I was interested in the camping on your property.
Okay. Yeah, we have campers every weekend, and they've already started this year, and it's all I have to do is put some firewood out for them, and I put a big jug of water out for them. They come and do the camping, and Hip Camp is like an Airbnb situation. They take the revenue, they take the money and pay me my share, which is 90%. They take 10%. It's pretty good.
So that's an online resource where you can find camping spots across the country.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where are you located?
We're in Orange County, rural part of Orange County.
Did I miss what the online resource is?
It's called Hip Camp, HIPCAMP.
Okay, Hip Camp. Okay.
Any
Very
other
cool.
questions? Any other questions for Donald concerning the decision matrix to grow and how to grow?
One of
Donald,
the,
if you
no, I
go
was just
ahead.
going to say that one of the things that I was interested in and some of the stuff that you shared, you had told me about Blue Ocean and you know, making decisions, and you covered some of that here. But was, you know, whether you make a decision to, you know, focus on new products, or whether you will decide on growth in another way. And I, you know, I think those kind of decisions are right now, I think we're probably all in a survival mode, but we see here a lot of people who have made decisions that have helped keep their business going during this time. And I just think that that's a really good idea to focus on that kind of thing, and also to see that there are different ways to grow. It's not always maybe opening a new store or a you know, having a new product. It could just be looking at another area of marketing. So if you could just talk a little bit about, you know, those kind of decisions when somebody, I know that Nina said that one of her difficulties, and I think the same thing with Sarah, is reaching out to people and people knowing about their business. And, you know, because once they come, I guarantee you they're going to be, you know, interested in continuing to come back and tell their friends.
Right, right. So one of the slides showed that circular process of putting something out there, run a trial, take a measurement, interview some customers, and run it again before you put a lot of money into a new product or opening up a new area. Best thing you can do is talk to your customers. That's the number one thing. There's a book, Stephen Blank, this Startup Owner's Manual, where he emphasizes interview 10 customers a week, period.
Wow.
And you ask how many businesses interview 10 customers a week.
Right.
And you write down the answers. And they're not your friends and relatives. These are strangers. Your friends and relatives will tell you you've got the best product and they're going to love to buy it and so on. You got to interview the strangers.
Okay.
It seems like that's kind of what Sarah did with your pop-up store, right? When you tried it here locally before you launched?
Yeah, definitely. That was something I got from CIC, do a pop-up first. So that was that point.
Yeah.
I was also wondering, Donald, do you or members of SPORC, like, could you kind of consult? Could I call you and work with you maybe just for a day or two to kind of hone in on this a little bit more?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's possible. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Any other questions for Donald? Any other questions?
I just want to point out that SCORE is something that anybody can go to and request speaking to, you know, an executive, and it's free. And their website has tons of information. Just like the SBDC is same thing. There are so many pieces of information that you could use. If you have a question about your business or how you go about doing something, those are great resources. And I would encourage you to call SCORE. And if you needed help even through just a little problem, or if you were wanting to do some, a big change, they're just a great resource.
I wanted to say thank you to everyone who came to speak today, and especially for Donald, because I know about that. I knew that it was out there, but it just makes it so much more approachable that you can present yourself and talk a little bit, so that you don't seem to be, some big thing out in the wilderness. You're a real person that is approachable and helpful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and we're in contact. We can contact any of the 10,000 mentors and bring them in as an expert. Let's say it's a bankruptcy or it's an auto repair shop, or we put in a keyword and bingo, we've got somebody in Denver who's expert, and they come in and join our co-mentoring session. So we're one huge organization of willing mentors.
So any questions for any of our panelists that you might have thought about after they finished speaking?
I have one for Sarah.
Go ahead.
Do you accept, let's say you said you take everything recyclable. So let's say somebody has things for crafting that they don't want to throw away. Do you accept those?
Absolutely. That's how everything gets into the store. I should have mentioned that first. Sorry. Everything in the store is what people have donated that they no longer want. So if you go to scrappyelephant.com, and the top of the page, it says donate. There's a whole list of all the things I'll accept. And you can call me anytime to drop off donations. It doesn't just have to be during the hours I'm open.
Okay.
Like I said, I live 3 minutes from the shop, so I can meet you at any time. Thank you.
So I know we're running a little bit short on time, but we did start a few minutes late. So I'd like to ask a question for each of the local businesses. What is the one thing you would tell the other business owners today about how to thrive in the coming year? And I'll start with you, Alice, and then I'll go Sarah, and then Nina.
Again, my biggest thing is adjusting to the pandemic, doing something different that will bring the business in. When I say that, I joined the chamber, I joined the women's in business here in Fluvanna County, and I'm advertising. So those are the things that I've been doing differently. I have a very small budget for advertising. My business usually is online, or, my company refers people to me. So the one thing is just adjusting to what this pandemic has done to us all.
Okay. Sarah?
I think piggybacking on what Alice said, adjusting and flexibility, also willingness to learn new things. I absolutely hate social media, but I've discovered that's the biggest thing that's bringing in new customers. So I'm really just been trying to learn as much as I can about Instagram, Reels, all this social media stuff that seems like there's something new every day with it. But that's been really helpful. And I really apologize. I have a work meeting that I have to go to, so I've got to jump off now. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for having me here.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. Nina?
Okay, so yeah, piggyback off what everybody's saying. Having to get out of your comfort zone and trying to put yourself out there. And for me, I've got to humble myself and just kind of forget what I think I know. and learn again. So, and, relying on, friends and the chamber to help me put the word out there, because I think even though social media and people look at that, I think this old fashioned word of mouth, because you're talking to someone and that person can tell you about their experiences, and you can feel the passion in their voice and when they talk about different things. So also relying on those folks to help you, and I don't have the funds for advertising either. But social media can be free, and I'm learning that too. So it's just perseverance, I guess, and hope, and then relying on the great people in the community to help you out and help networking and get the word out.
Great, thank you so much. Ruth Ann, you want to tell us a little bit about our door prize and the other offers that we have today on the table?
Yes. Nina is giving a certain percentage. I didn't get that down.
It's 20%. It's 21% furniture purchase, or 10% off of any other item in the store.
Okay, now that's for all attendees. All of you get that, and I will have her have a list of people who attended, so they'll know. So that's 20% off a furniture item, or you said 10%, I think, off of any other item. And that's
It's 21% off of furniture.
Okay.
And 10% off of everything else, with the exception of wine. No percentage off on wine. Sorry.
Okay. And there will absolutely be something that you can find in her store, I guarantee it. So everybody gets that. And then AVR Cruises is offering to everybody either a $50 onboard credit for a 7-day cruise or longer, or a $50 credit for an escorted tour or Caribbean and Mexico package. Clearly, you're going to have to contact her, and I will also give her the names of everybody who came. And then the door prize, Scrappy Elephant, is giving a $25 gift certificate. So we're going to pick that person now, and I will let Sarah know.
Great. So listen to your number. Sherry, 1. Nancy, 2. Donald, 3. Alice, 4. Judy, 5. Sarah, even though she will take Sarah off since it's her gift certificate. Lori, 6. Linda, 7. Michael, 8. Nina, 9. Robin, 10. Kathy, 11. And Ruth Ann is 12.
Oh, I don't need to be on that, but okay.
Well, I had already put the 12 in here, so you have to be on it.
I'll
Okay.
be it.
All right. Here we go, folks. Can I get a drum roll, please? That was a weak drum roll. Here we go. 7. 7. Linda.
Boy, Linda, you are so lucky. She won the last one.
She is lucky.
Lucky Linda.
Folks, thank you. Thank you so much for your time this morning and for spending it with us. Hopefully you walk away with at least one piece of information you can implement in your businesses. And hopefully you've met somebody new today. And we just wish you a great day, and we will see you the next time we see you.
Hi. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Here. Bye.